They say trust is the first-class ticket in a relationship, but mine must have been on standby all along. I met Jenna during my layover in Charlotte, both of us stranded by a snowstorm that shut down the East Coast. She had this warm, inviting smile and a knack for storytelling that made hours feel like minutes. We shared overpriced airport drinks, a conversation that flowed too easily, and by the time the flight boards resumed, we both knew this wasn't just a one-time meeting. 6 years later, we were married, raising 2 golden retrievers in the suburbs of Portland, Oregon, and planning our 10-year anniversary trip to Greece. Jenna always loved travel. She worked part-time as a copywriter for a marketing firm, freelancing when she could, and spending her downtime browsing destination blogs and luxury hotel websites. She'd light up just thinking about new cultures, new foods, new places. Our vacations were more than getaways, they were how we stayed connected. So when she said she wanted to plan this anniversary trip all on her own, I didn't think much of it. She said she found a boutique travel agency that specialized in personalized European itineraries. Said the manager, Gavin, had been particularly helpful and enthusiastic about our trip. He's a travel whisperer, she joked over dinner one night. He knows all the hidden spots. I laughed. I trusted her. I had no reason not to. But over the next few weeks, something shifted. Jenna started going out more often, saying she needed to meet Gavin to finalize details in person. I found it strange. What kind of travel agent insists on that many in-person meetings these days? But I shrugged it off. She was excited, and I didn't want to be the cynical husband who questions everything. Then came the forgotten phone. One rainy Tuesday afternoon, Jenna left her phone charging on the kitchen counter while she stepped out to pick up a gift bag for the trip. I had no intention of snooping, but the screen lit up with a message I couldn't unsee. Gavin, last night was unforgettable. You taste like the coast of Amalfi. The world froze. My hands trembled as I unlocked the phone, something she never guarded with a password anyway. There were more messages. Dozens. Weeks worth of flirtation, confession, plans, hotel receipts disguised as client meetings. She'd been meeting him at a boutique in 2 towns over, booked under fake names. My name. The irony was disgusting. And the trip? Our trip to Greece? It was never about us. It was about them. Later that night, when she walked through the door and kissed me like everything was fine, I couldn't even look at her. My throat closed up. I had rehearsed confrontations in my head in that short window of time after reading the messages. But when faced with her face, this woman I had once met in an airport terminal, the same woman who used to leave handwritten notes in my lunch, I felt nothing but numb. I've been thinking about Athens, she said casually, untying her scarf. What if we add Santorini to the itinerary? I looked her straight in the eye. Sure, I said, voice flat. Let's make it a trip to remember. But in my head, I was already planning a very different kind of journey. I didn't sleep that night. I laid in bed next to her, the woman I once swore I'd grow old with, listening to the soft rhythm of her breath. My chest felt heavy, like grief was sitting on it. The kind of grief you don't wear in black or bury in the ground. The kind that clings to you while the person it's for sleeps beside you like nothing's wrong. I couldn't confront her. Not yet. I needed to know the scope of it, what was real, what was performance. I started digging. Over the next week, I played the part of the affectionate, slightly distracted husband. Work's been rough lately, I explained when I seemed distant. Jenna never asked questions. Why would she? She was planning a fantasy getaway with the man she was sleeping with, paid for by me. I did some quiet detective work. Credit card statements showed hotel charges every third Thursday. Receipts for wine, dinner, lingerie. The boutique travel agency? It had been real, once. Gavin owned it. But since COVID, it had gone virtual. No office. No storefront. Every in-person meeting was an excuse for her to vanish into his world. I tracked down the boutique in 2 towns over. A quaint, ivy-wrapped place that marketed itself as an escape for the elite. I booked a room. Under my own name. I needed to see it. I needed to see them. That Thursday, I told Jenna I had an overnight work retreat. She didn't bat an eye. Kissed me goodbye, wished me luck, told me she couldn't wait to unwind in Greece. She even packed my travel mug with coffee. It felt like a twisted joke. I checked in at the inn late afternoon and requested the room across the hall from theirs. The receptionist barely looked up. "You'll love the privacy," she said. Ironic. Hours passed. Around 8:30 p.m. I heard them. Their laughter echoed off the corridor, light and careless. I watched through the slightly ajar peephole as Gavin kissed her neck in the hallway. She giggled like a teenager, fumbling for the keycard. I didn't feel rage, not the kind I'd expected. Just this hollow ache. Like the moment you realize a favorite song has lost all its meaning. I waited. At 9:47, I knocked on their door. Jenna opened it, wearing the silk robe I'd given her 2 Christmases ago. For a second, she looked confused. Then panic. Then nothing. "Gavin," I said evenly, "mind if I borrow my wife for a moment?" He appeared behind her, shirtless, a wine glass in hand. He didn't say anything. Just froze. "You don't need to worry," I added. "You can have her. But you're going to pay for the vacation she planned." Jenna's mouth opened, but I held up a hand. "You used me, Jenna. You lied. You cheated. And the worst part is you let me dream while you were already living your fantasy with him. But here's the kicker, I recorded everything. Every text. Every charge. Every date. And I sent it to my lawyer 3 days ago." "You're overreacting," she said, finding her voice. "You were always so checked out." "No," I cut in. "You don't get to reframe this. You don't get to write the narrative." I turned to leave, paused, then looked over my shoulder. I booked Santorini. First class. But it's a one-way ticket. For me. That was 2 months ago. I still don't know if I believe in closure. But I believe in honesty. And sometimes, the most honest thing you can do is walk away. I canceled our anniversary trip and booked my own instead. Greece was stunning. But the real freedom wasn't the view, it was stepping off that plane alone, realizing I didn't need to bring the past with me to start over. Let them have each other. Some people are just layovers in your life. Not destinations.